it is not the easiest thing to find in Korea. It was outrageous. You might end up frying it, or you might end up burning your hair. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maddie and I do travel and Korea content as well as public health and general lifestyle content. So thanks so much for being here. Today we're going to talk about the 5 things to bring with you when you are moving to Korea. So if you don't know, I lived in Korea for 2.5 years. I was a teacher there through the EPIC program, and these are a couple of things that I wish I would have brought with me that I didn't. So we'll just go ahead and jump right in. Okay, so the first thing that I recommend you bring is a pair of comfortable walking shoes. Korea is a country where walking is a way of life, and from exploring really beautiful cities to walking to school and taking public transit, if you end up doing that and you're working there, or just exploring Seoul, you will be doing a lot of walking in Korea. It's pretty safe to say that. And there are also quite a lot of stairs in Korea. So having really comfortable shoes can really make a huge difference when you're out and about, kind of going around. And I will say, if you are a woman and your shoe size is over 9, that you may have some trouble finding shoes in Korea that are in your size, in the women's range. They have a lot of really cute shoes in Korea, but unfortunately I wear a size 9, and they only went up to around like a 260 in Korean size for women's. And that's like an 8 or an 8.5. So if you have size 9 feet, you may be able to find shoes that fit, but you will probably have to go to places like Incheon in Seoul. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. The next thing I recommend bringing to Korea is a power adapter for a 220 watt volt, and that is what this looks like. In Korea, the outlets are different, so especially, for the first few days that you get there, you might consider just bringing one of these, and then you can get more at a store called Daiso for really cheap. I think I paid like $3 or 3,000 Korean won, which is like $3 for this at Daiso. This way you can stay connected and powered up while you adjust to your new surroundings. I also recommend you check your devices that you're bringing with you. So, a lot of phones and computers and things like that, they have a range of voltage that they can be plugged into. So where I'm from in the US, it's 110 volts generally, and in Europe and then in Korea, it's 220 volts. So a lot of phones and computers and things like that, they have a range from 110 to 220 volts that they can be plugged into, and then they just pull the power appropriately. However, there are items like curling irons, for example, that are only made for 110 volt power source. So if you plug it in, you might end up frying it, or you might end up burning your hair. I know someone who did that, so I just like to encourage everyone to check the power range on their devices and just make sure that it can be plugged into a 220 volt socket. The third thing I recommend you bring with you when traveling to Korea is deodorant. If you are someone who uses deodorant every day, this can be very difficult to find in Korea, and generally many Koreans do not wear deodorant. Based on my experience living there, a lot of people do not use it or need it. So if you use deodorant every day, especially if you're going over there to teach or to live there for a job or something, this is a good item to bring a couple months supply with you, just because it's very hard to find. So I recommend maybe like a 3 to 6 months supply, depending on how long you're going, and then maybe someone can ship you some. So deodorant, third thing. For number 4, I recommend that you bring either if you have a high quality, like goose down feather duvet, or, like some really nice sheets that you have, like a higher thread count sheet that you like, bring those with you. And I say this because I was in Korea just a few months ago, and for a single fitted sheet, a stretchy fitted sheet for a twin size bed, I paid 66,000 Korean won at the Hyundai department store. Now, you can find bedding for a little bit cheaper if you go to they have a store called Home Plus, which is kind of like a Walmart. Or there, you can also find bedding at the traditional market. But generally, I found that bedding was a lot more expensive there for some reason. And especially something like a goose down duvet, that is just not very common there, and it really comes at a premium. So if you have quality bedding that you really like, even though most people fit their lives into 2 suitcases, that might not be a bad thing to bring with you, just because it was outrageous paying $66 for a single fitted sheet, not even a set of sheets, just a single sheet. Um, so yeah, definitely consider bringing those when you come to Korea, especially if you're moving there and going to be staying there for a long time. The 5th thing that I recommend bringing with you when you travel to Korea is toothpaste. Now, I know you can buy toothpaste in Korea. I'm not saying that you can't, but Korean toothpaste is not that minty. The flavor is very mild, whereas like in the US, some of the toothpaste that we have is really powerfully minty, and just I felt that a lot of the Korean toothpaste did not get my teeth quite as clean as some of the US toothpastes. I could sort of feel like a little bit of plaque, or just a little bit of a fuzzy feeling on my teeth a lot of times after brushing. So I recommend, if you want, I recommend bringing maybe a tube or two of toothpaste if you like your toothpaste kind of minty. And also, if that's something that, you know, you really prefer. Some of the Korean toothpaste, it just did not give me a feeling of as deep a clean as some of the US ones, and also was not as minty. It was just kind of like mild flavored. Um, so that's another thing that you can consider bringing. And this is a 6th bonus item, and this is only for people who are going over to Korea to work. Especially, I can speak specifically to people who are going over there to teach. So you might consider bringing a small gift for your co-teacher and also for your principal and vice principal. Um, a good guideline to stick to is that the gift should not be over $50, and generally you should avoid bringing alcohol, just because everyone has different preferences when it comes to alcohol, and some people don't drink, so it would probably be better to avoid bringing that. When I went to Korea, I went to Costco first and bought a big bulk pack of emergency sachets, and there were 3 different flavors. And then I gave those to my co-teacher, principal, and vice principal, and they loved it. They do a lot of like vitamin C IVs over there, and things like that. So, and older Korean people generally care quite a bit about maintaining good health. So, like people everywhere. But yeah, they seem to really like that, and I got a lot of good feedback from them about it. And another option would be to bring them something that comes from the area where you're from, that's made there. So, for example, cherries from Michigan, if that's an area where you're from, might be a good gift. Giving a gift can be a good way to really start the relationship off on the right foot with your co-teacher and with your principal and vice principal. It's not required in any way, but it can just be a nice way to start things off in a good way. So yeah, that is just kind of like a 6th bonus suggestion, is if you're going over there to work, and particularly, if you're going over there to teach, I would suggest bringing a small gift, for your co-teacher and or something to share that's from the area that you are from. And there you have it, 5 essential things to pack with you when you're moving to Korea. Comfortable walking shoes, a universal powered adapter, deodorant, a nice duvet or really high quality sheets if you have those and you want those. Toothpaste if you like that, just because the Korean ones are not that minty, and from my experience I found it felt like it didn't really get my teeth quite as clean. And then just as a little bonus, number 6 is a gift for your co-teacher and your principal and vice principal. It's important to remember that moving to a new country is an opportunity for growth and exploration. So make the most of it, go with the flow of the culture, and make some awesome memories. If you like this video, please feel free to hit like and subscribe. Wishing you all safe travels, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks. Bye.